All right, guys, welcome to this video. I'm sat here with my good friend and old client, Connor. Thank you for
Yo,
coming. Good to have you
thank
on.
you.
And yeah, Connor was one of my first real clients on my business a few years ago, and
Hell yeah.
we got you some good results. Yeah, I thought we'll have a sit down and I'll ask him some questions about, where he was, the things we did to help him, how he was feeling, that kind of thing. So,
Let's do
yeah,
it.
if you're like an entrepreneur who feels like, you can relate to Connor, then I think what he'll speak about will help you massively. So, yeah, let's get into it, bro.
Hell yeah,
So,
man. Let's do it.
why don't you tell people a little bit about, I guess, tell people like how things are now, like just overall, like what you're doing with your time and that kind of thing. And then also 2 years ago when we started working together, like what's been the
Man,
biggest thing that's been different?
I feel like 2 years is I felt like a completely different dude 2 years ago to where I
Yeah,
am now, in a good way, obviously. Yeah, how I'm doing now. I just think it's weird how looking back, you don't realize how much of how much you're stuck in ways that don't benefit yourself. Like I'll give an example. Um, always ordering Uber Eats, always eating whatever the fuck was
yeah,
available to me.
yeah,
And not even, yeah, it's not like now I'm going crazy and I'm like, oh, I can't eat this, can't eat that. But it's more so just having a little bit of a second thought anytime I do anything. Like when I go to bed, I have a
yeah,
little bit of a thought about what my routine is when I'm going to bed. If I'm
yeah,
eating, I want to have a little bit extra thought into what I'm eating,
yeah,
ratios, protein, whatever. And just putting that little bit extra thought into pretty much everything
yeah,
and just exponentially, you life just kind of gets a little bit better.
yeah,
And it's funny, like before I spoke to you, it's weird. It's weird. I think back things that are so obvious to me now, I had no idea about
yeah.
with you. And it's like,
What are some examples?
okay, some examples: light pollution, say for when you sleep. I had a big ass gap in my blinds, like in the
Yeah, it's
morning.
a common thing.
Yeah, and I was a shift worker as well, so like I'd sometimes
So hard
go
on
to
your
bed
body.
at 3 a.m.,
Yeah,
get up at 10, and I'm just getting blasted by light the whole night. And I
yeah,
didn't realize that kind of over years and years of doing that crap, like it plays, and food's the biggest one. Seed oils, all that crap. Like it's kind of like a gimmick now in a way. Like you hear a lot of people talking about,
everyone's talking about it now. Yeah,
yeah,
I was one of like not the pioneers, but I was the one screaming about it. Like, stop having seed oils and
bro, you were
that
the
kind of
first
thing.
person
To
that
tell
told
you.
me about it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
And just little things like, you know, in there. I live with my roommate, and she's got a plastic chopping boards, and I've got my wooden chopping boards next
oh
to it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And just little change like that. It's not freaking hard, like to do. And
yeah,
everyone kind of rolls their eyes. If someone's not into this kind of, looking after yourself, and you go, oh, you should use wooden chopping boards. There's a big eye roll, but
yeah.
all right, like,
Let's see how they can relate to you. So at the time, obviously, you were working a normal job and also building a business. I remember you had so many things on your plate. You were just like so busy and just kind of burning yourself out. So tell people what you were like. What was like your responsibilities? Because I know and you're still building the ecom now, right?
yeah,
And then at the time you were working.
yeah.
What were you doing at the time?
What, like in general, like
In
daily?
general, what was your daily
Oh man, like I'd
responsibilities and
work.
workload and
Yeah, I'd work, your 8 hours and come back. And at the time, we were both kind of like fighting and stuff like that as well.
yeah,
So it's like balancing, you know, starting a business, making money, um, staying healthy, I guess, and your passions and your hobbies,
yeah,
martial arts and stuff. Yeah, and I just think it was go, go, go. But it's kind of hard, you know, it's hard to balance everything and do it properly in a way. I feel like in order to do so much, it's not that much, but it kind of feels like it when you focus on so many different things. But I feel like in order to achieve all that stuff, you need to just make things a part of your routine, so you're not putting energy and effort into those things, And I think for
100%.
you, it was like you were setting me up in ways. Okay, so say one part of my energy was always diet. What am I eating? What am I eating? But so you just
Yeah,
set yourself up where you're all everything is what you need. You've got your fruit. You eat the same similar things every day,
yeah,
and then you're not thinking about it. You get home, you eat your food, and you go. But back then it was like everything was like, oh my god, I got to do this, got to do that, got to do this, blah
yeah,
blah blah. And look, it never really stops that grind, but
yeah.
it just kind of shifts, and you kind of figure something out each way. But now it's definitely a bit more focused, and you got to kind of make some sacrifices, I guess.
These fucking flies are killing
Yeah,
me.
dude, I'm getting smashed. My watermelon's gone, but yeah, I feel like you just got to make sacrifices and cut out all the shit that you don't
Yeah,
need. It's funny. Uh, when I moved into this place, I didn't bring my PlayStation with me. I know that sounds silly, but that was a
Yeah.
thing because you're knackered and you just play games. But I know it's taken my energy out of
Yeah.
it, and since I moved here, I hadn't touched a single game up until about a week ago. That's a whole story. Um,
Yeah.
but you're better off without that stuff, and I think that's kind of nowadays, to answer your question, I guess, 2 years ago versus now. I think cutting out all the shit that you really don't need,
Yeah.
and making every day a little bit easier, more systems in place.
Yeah.
That's kind of
That's a
my
key
answer, I
thing.
guess.
Yeah, yeah, no, I
If
know
that
what
makes
you're
sense.
saying, and
Yeah.
that's one thing I speak about a lot with entrepreneurs and people I speak to is like everyone's busy. A lot of people make themselves more busy than they need to be, and when you want to be healthy and optimize your performance through health, it doesn't really come down to like adding. Obviously, we started working together right when I started, and it's definitely different to how I help people now. Obviously, it's just improved, right? It's been 2 years, but a lot of it is just changing like what you're already doing because you were already eating food a few times a day. You were already going to the gym. You were already sleeping. It's just about like intertwining certain things in your routine that systemizes health. So you could still like you're still going about your music you like, your business, your work, but because you've changed the inputs, you get a different outcome.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So
Definitely. And it's funny how those little changes, like you said, I was still training MMA every day, still lifting all the time, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't make the progress that, you know, everyone wants to make until
yeah,
those little things were tweaked, the protein, the health stuff. And I think it just changes your attitude to life as well.
yeah,
And that kind of flows on to everything you do.
yeah,
You just feel better, and
yeah.
it's less of a, yeah.
Sick. What would you say is like what would you say was like the short-term benefits you got, and then some of the long-term benefits you got? Because I know the testimony we gave me was only after a month, and like, yeah, you had a lot of good things to say. Like, there was a lot of good things that
Can
came
I
from
answer
it.
in a weird way? Like I feel
Answer it
like,
whatever way you
yeah,
want.
just direction, just
Yeah.
direction.
Okay.
I mean, every guy needs, like, you feel a bit lost at some time in your life as well.
Yeah.
And you do so much and you try so hard and you think so much, and then things don't go the way as planned, and you kind of you deviate from the path a little bit. And I think having you to just chat to and just kind of G me up a little bit, because you're like, oh well, this is the stuff that you can do to be better, and that kind of just gives you a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's not all doom and gloom, and I can change things, and I can get better, and I can strive for more.
What was it though, like that you thought was doom and gloom?
What do you mean? Wait, say again. What?
What is it you're speaking about that you thought was like
Doom and gloom?
doom and gloom, and like the things I was helping with specifically?
Well, like, I think for me, I don't know if everyone's the same, but um, I don't know if it's an entrepreneurial thing or a male thing or whatever, but I feel like I'm always looking for looking at the future, I want this, I want this, but I need this, and you got responsibilities. You could be single and, living in mum's basement, but you're still thinking about this imaginary family that you have and this life that you need to have. And, it could be a subconscious thing where you need to prove yourself, but every day that goes by where you're not living the life that you want to live, maybe it kind of eats away at you. And I feel like I'm pretty good in that department, but it still hit me.
It's very common, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of entrepreneurs think very similar.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
And you question yourself, especially when there's no one, like, you have nothing to. Not many of my friends were into business, and you're living in Thailand a lot of the time.
Sorry, wait. Is
Yeah.
your mic on?
Like, yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of in my own head a little bit, all the time. And
Yeah.
I think even trivially having another thing to like in the meantime kind of focus on,
Yeah.
like, your health and your sleep and things that,
Yeah.
But look, for me, I was also having lots of trouble with my sleep at
Yeah.
that time. I think was sleep the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about,
It's such a
or did I
long
want to get
time ago.
shredded? I feel like everyone just wants
It
to
was
get shredded.
shredded, and I think I maybe diagnosed with sleep. I was
Yeah.
like, bro, your sleep is terrible.
Funny because sleep's, I would imagine, even if everyone is like neutral across the board, sleep would be the first thing that you want people to get locked in, right? Isn't sleep like the most
The most
important thing?
impactful thing on your health and performance, for sure.
Yeah, mine
If
was
you go
cooked.
a few days without it, you'll die. Food, you could survive a month without it. But
Yeah,
like,
mine was cooked.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I just, it's good to have, every time you eat well, you train well, you get your protein, you sleep well, and it keeps going. It just set the wheel in motion, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Not to rant too much, but that's, yeah.
No, 100%. What do you think we did specifically that helped with that? Because what you mentioned before was like this mindset stuff that like a lot of entrepreneurs deal with. So how do you think what we did, how like improving your health and kind of systemizing it with all your responsibilities of training and you know weight training and your normal work and your business, how did what we do help with that, with like the mindset stuff that you were
It's
facing?
funny because like I forget what I was like before, but
Yeah, it's hard to remember. It's a few years
well, I
back,
mean,
isn't it?
like since we've gone through everything, like you were really kind of getting deep into stuff, and I was like, oh shit, you got in deep into every aspect when it comes to your sleep and everything. So I think I think I mean, I could start rattling off all the stuff that you kind of went through, but
Go ahead.
I mean, okay, let's say sleep. So, I kind of mentioned it before, but with the light pollution, I got
I remember
the
your septum was did you get surgery or
no,
I forgot what
actually,
happened?
I went to the doctor and he
Yeah.
says, "Are you still fighting?" And I said, "Yeah," and he goes, "Well, come back when you stop,
Right.
because there's no point."
Yeah. I think what did I help you with? I helped you with just taping your mouth at
Oh,
night
mouth
and
tape
using
every
nails.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nose strips.
definitely no
Yeah.
strips. I got the uh, I feel like this seems like above and beyond, but I don't think it is. But I got the blue light blocker glasses.
Yeah.
They are so
I
good.
think it's
They are,
necessary for every human being,
bro.
not even just entrepreneurs. Everyone's staring at screens at night. It's like
I
avoid
have
blue light.
tried to get so many of my mates that, oh, I can't sleep, can't do this, I have terrible
Yeah.
sleep. Have you thought about this?
Should have sent
Oh,
them to
yeah.
me.
No one's keen to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, those ones are like, I'll just sit at my computer maybe an hour before bed, chuck my glasses on,
Yeah.
and I look like a goofball, but it's so good. And by the time I get to bed, I'm drowsy as hell. Yeah, that's a good one. Setting like a sleep timer was a good one. Tracking your sleep with like a Whoop or a Apple
Did you have
Watch.
a Whoop at the time?
Nah,
No, we
nah,
didn't.
I don't have a Whoop yet.
Yeah, with every client I work with now, I get them a Whoop.
Yeah,
But yeah, that
that
at the
needs to get
time, no.
sorted. I'm trying to think. Magnesium.
There was a lot of stuff. Yeah, a
Magnesium's
lot
a
of
good
little
one.
tactics, and it was all personalized to you. Because like I work with clients now who have nasal issues, and I'm the one telling, okay, ideally you should get surgery, speak to a doctor, see how deviated it is. But you know we can work around there and try and see what we can do. You know, nasal strips and
Strips are great.
cortisone temporarily,
Yeah,
like nasal spray, humidifiers, like all that kind of stuff to
yeah.
help with your sleep, right?
But
Yeah,
I think what dealing with you has helped me the most is give me like this what previously didn't have this level of um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like uh, this level of self awareness and consciousness to just question things.
yeah. What
You
were you
know,
questioning?
well, everything. I mean, like we are told a random one, we're told that butter's bad for your cholesterol. And
Yeah,
then you come in, you're like, yo,
it's not.
get some nice free range, healthy butter and it's good for your fats, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, that's not what everyone told. People are told not to eat eggs because of cholesterol. Like,
yeah.
there's just a lot of shit
Yeah,
floating
yeah,
around.
yeah.
But, you know,
I was really deep in that whole health matrix thing. I still kind of am a little bit, but back then I was like, no more tap water, no more this, no more that, and I was just like, you can't do any of that.
yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, the good thing is you don't need to be all in or all out for any of this stuff. It's just to just to think about it. Just to have an extra little thought. If you go to a
yeah,
restaurant, you don't know what they're cooking that stuff in. It doesn't mean you don't go to
yeah,
restaurants,
yeah,
but you just think that little bit extra and what you've been told your whole life. Like, your parents, God bless them, they're the best people ever,
yeah,
but they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
yeah.
They don't know, what, who knows what
Bro,
they've told you.
the health matrix is real, man. Only 150 years ago, things were completely different. I'm pretty sure the pharmacies and everything was all full of natural herbal ingredients. And then, if you go down the rabbit hole, someone bought, paid it out, and now it's all just medicated and they treat the symptoms and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a whole rabbit hole, And then I guess I gave you that perspective to think, to question things because it's like a matrix. It's a health matrix, right? So yeah, that's definitely helpful. What would you say at the time you were cutting down? How much did you weigh at the time, and then what did you get
Oh,
down to
dude,
after a few months, and then what are you roughly around now?
it's hard to answer that question with a weight because I've been like, now I think I'm 75. I've been 75 and look like Shrek. I don't
Okay.
know. I just think, and now like, I was talking to you, I've had a bit of a binge week after 3 months of cutting and I kind of, still got all the pudge and stuff like that. But Yeah, I think when we 2 years ago, it would have been about 83. I'm about 75 now.
Pretty good.
But I've been, in the
Yeah.
meantime, I cut down to 68 for a fight,
Yeah.
and I look like shit. I look better now than I look like when I was 68.
You look really good now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I
you've
still got
cut down and
like,
then you've done a recomp. You're a lot higher, like with muscle mass and that kind of thing. So
well, that's another thing about recomp. Everyone always, there's a community that kind of says if you're not a brand new
yeah,
lifter, you can't recomp. I recomp just fine.
you
I'm not
can.
like
It's just harder, isn't it? It takes longer.
well, I don't know. Like I just did my training the way I needed to,
Yeah.
ate the way I needed to,
Yeah.
and I feel like the recomp was really good.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I made more muscle than when I was bulking.
Yeah.
But I was eating shit when I was bulking.
I think they only say that because like in the beginning you can really recomp, like it's easy to recomp. Afterwards
Yeah.
you still can. Maybe yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a bit harder, I think.
I think it's probably
100%.
very individual as well. I might
Yeah.
be lucky. The classic short king energy where it's like you lift a weight once and you just get jacked. But
Yeah, we do
I
have
just
that.
I felt like it was really good. And I don't even weirdly, and this isn't really something that we've discussed, but I really feel like I'm not even thinking about cutting phase now, bulking or cutting, maintaining. I feel like you just eat well all the time, train well all the time. Like you can't get fat eating watermelon.
Bro, yeah.
Like I'm full now. I had like 3 slices, and then you have 250 grams of
Yeah.
beef. Like you're not going to overeat that shit if you just
Yeah.
eat whole foods, and then
100%.
So it's just like I think I'm it goes back to pre ehab era. My mindset was different. I was just thinking about shit, this like really weird kind of game, but it's just eat well. Like it's not that fucking hard.
This is something I really want to touch on now. I'm glad you reminded
Mm.
me. It's that like your identity changes once you become more healthy, right? Because it's something we don't think about. Like it's kind of surface level when I say it, but like at the time you probably saw yourself as someone who doesn't do X, Y, Z to like prioritize your health. But now you just see yourself subconsciously as a person, as an entrepreneur that takes care of their health. Like it's just a default. It doesn't really take willpower. It doesn't feel weird anymore, right? It just like does it just feel automatic when you're
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how I don't want to come across like you see those cringe dudes on the podcasts online, and they're like, oh, get like like getting jacked and stuff. I don't think I'm jacked, but I look good now and I feel good now because I've been doing stuff. And I like when I get out the shower and I look in the mirror now, which is crazy. Like that's outside looking in, every once you lock in for a bit, everyone goes to the phase where you have a flex every time you bloody see your reflection.
Yeah.
And it is cringy, but I think when you look a bit deeper, it's like
not at all.
if you haven't been liking how you look for so long,
Yeah.
when you do and you've put so much effort to get there, it's a treat and it's a reminder of the work you're putting in. And then you get to a point where you don't need to do that all the time, and it's just how you look, and you feel good and you look good, and you just kind of get about your day, and that's just how you are now. And I couldn't imagine going back to eating crap.
You can't even imagine because it's not you anymore.
Nah,
You're a different person.
And I feel like shit when I eat that stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's just about finding like a fine line between like with it's just your new identity. The energy's at the start, you put a lot of energy in because it's a new diet. You have to really think about it, and you're probably craving food, and like, oh, I'm doing this whole thing. And then, I mean, I can't even eat half the amount of food that I used to be able to eat before.
Yeah.
Because my stomach just doesn't, it's like, bro, you're done now.
Yeah.
You don't need to overeat anymore. It's not a comfort thing anymore. Because my comfort is to just eat what I need to eat and then get about my day.
100%.
I don't need the dopamine,
Yeah.
So that's probably a big thing. And I think that is a bit of an identity shift. I don't know if that's just becoming an adult. I remember thinking when I was a kid, oh, mum and dad don't want Macca's every time they drive past it. Why the hell is that? How did I get there? Maybe one day I'll just be an adult. And I kind of just did.
Yeah.
Like I want to continue on quickly. Everyone has a vice, and I think when you get to a point that you helped me get to, you can look at your vices objectively. Like if you're smoking now, you probably think that's a part of your character, and you probably think that's a thing that you're doing. You get out.
Yeah.
I need it. If you're smoking now, you're brainwashed in a way. You're unaligned to what you need to be doing. If you're smoking, there's no reality where you should be smoking. And I think everyone can tell you to stop smoking. Everyone say, oh, your grandma could say, put that down, and you're like, oh yeah, gran, whatever. Your boss could be like, mate, you need to come back in, you've had 3 smokers today, yeah, whatever. But until you find out yourself, I need to stop smoking, you're never going to fucking stop smoking.
Yeah.
And I think what you helped me get to the point where I can do that in different aspects of my life.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I'm doing 2 hours of work on my business, but how much business work did I actually do? Maybe
Yeah, that
15
was the
minutes.
thing we spoke about. I
You know, and
remember.
it's like it just gives you the ability to kind of reflect. That's
Yeah,
kind of where
bro.
I am now. Maybe I'm just an adult now,
There's a lot of
or maybe I'm
adults that
enlightened.
never
I
hit
don't
that,
know.
bro.
Yeah.
They get in their 50s and 60s, and that's so true what you said. One thing I want to speak about is when we started working together, by the time we had a chat, you were like, you already made the decision.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have to convince you too much. I remember I was just like, this is what I do. Do you want to work with me? Yes or no? You're like, yeah, fuck, all right. And then we just
Yeah.
did it, right? But you, out of all the clients I worked with, a lot of them, like a good amount of them, right from the beginning, they just, something switched. But for you, bro, you really had to like a switch. Like you listened to everything I said, you did everything, you got great results. And yeah, I want to ask, like, how did you get to that point where as soon as we started work together, you were already ready to go? You already made a switch. You were already committed to where you just follow the plan perfectly. You know what
Bro,
I mean?
my business partner always tells me that I'm all or nothing, and she gets kind of, you know,
Yeah.
she's a lot smarter than me, but I'm kind of like monkey brain where I'm fully in, and if I'm out, I'm fully out,
Yeah.
which is not a good thing. But also I have different fixations, and maybe that point in my life I was just like, enough is enough. I need to lock the fuck in.
Yeah.
But you correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like if your type of work doesn't work if the person come to you isn't already actually there. They're in the sense that they really want to better themselves. You know,
Yeah.
the amount of shit that I've stolen from you, like I'm like, I got all your information, and I go to these people that I'm like, they could use that, and I tell them. They love hearing it. They talk about it.
Yeah.
Never do it because I've come to them with it.
Yeah.
I've come to them with this, and I'm like, you should do that. You should do this.
Yeah.
But maybe because I came to you, and I was like,
100%.
I trusted you as a person, and we talked, and I was like, yep, I've come to you, and people are willing to put the money in as
Yeah.
as an investment to themselves. It's like, but yeah, I also had plans and goals, maybe because of martial artist, and
Yeah.
but I just looked and felt like shit. I just needed more from
Yeah.
from that. If that's
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
you know,
What do you think was? Yeah, I guess you did answer the question.
in a weird way.
And
I
yet,
rant a lot.
no, you, no, you're fine. I think yeah, those are the people who get the best results because they obviously follow the plan, and the plan works, right? And for you, I don't even know what I'm about to ask.
Well, can I jump in?
Yeah, go.
So I'll give an example. One of my good friends, he was depressed. Like,
Yeah, I remember what it was. Yeah, but go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Well, hold it.
Hold it.
'Cause you'll probably forget it by the time I'm done because I talk a lot. But I have a friend. He was very, very depressed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you were telling me
yeah,
about this
I
one.
thought
Yeah.
it'd be so good to pass on some of your information. He wanted to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And, I want to start a business. So we're working through that.
Yeah.
And it never went anywhere because I was putting on to him what I needed, which is I needed this like thing to express
And it's
myself.
what you think he wants to do, but it's not. Like they have to come onto it themselves. They have to realize it and want it from
100%.
within.
And that's why I was depressed. I wasn't, but that's why I was down. He ended up on his own accord joining a card club and joining this community where they play card games.
Yeah.
Met all his friends, and he was just isolated. He just felt alone because he lives
Yeah.
far away. He didn't know his friends, and now he's doing amazing.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like his problem was isolation. My problem was not fulfilling my potential through my business,
Yeah.
or my life,
Yeah.
So it's funny where all your stuff that worked so amazing on me had no effect on him because that's not what his goal was, I came to you for my goal and yours worked,
Yeah.
So my point, I guess I'm trying to make is you have to have you have to have the right goal and the right intentions or none of it, none of it makes sense, if that makes sense.
I think I understand. Like
Yeah.
you have to at least have an intention if you go to somebody for help. Like it's one thing if you go to someone for help and you know what you want. Like when I hired my business coach, I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted someone to help me achieve X, Y, Z, and I already decided before I paid him, it's Thomas, and I got good results because I already pre-decided all of that and I already committed to doing it. But if you sort of, for example, I've been trying to get my mum and dad into PT. Like I want them to work with a PT because I don't really have that much time to help them, right? And you can't tell people like you should go because X, Y, Z. Logic doesn't work. It's sales 101. Anyone who's done high ticket sales or you run a business, you know that it needs to come from them. It comes from asking questions and them landing on it themselves. And then they have this moment of realization like, fuck, like I need to change my life because X, Y, Z and I can do it and I trust you. And this is how we're going to do it. And I believe in it. So I think that's like the stage you were at. Like you already knew what you wanted. You trusted me already because like we're friends, right? And you just believed in the plan. You trusted me. You trusted yourself, and you just committed. Whereas other people, if you just say you should take care of your health because XYZ longevity, and you're gonna have a heart attack and blah blah. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything at all. People have to come to it on their own, and you can help. Like people say, you can't help someone. Like you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But you can make, this is so fucking true. I heard a sales guy say this. My foot's getting numb. But I heard a sales guy say this. You can make the horse thirsty.
Oh,
Right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't make them drink it, but you can make them thirsty as fuck
So that
to
they-
make them
yeah,
want to drink
yeah.
it. And that just comes down to speaking to them and letting them answer your questions and
Yeah.
them thinking and them coming to their realization of their life. And if you don't do that for someone, they're not really going to fully commit. They might just be like, I'll pay this guy, I might get the results, whatever. But they have to have that like flip in their mind.
And that's
where they
maybe
really
where
commit.
I went wrong. Trying to do what you do, like, but a part of your professionalism is finding the people that need your service. Whereas I was like, oh, this person could use this. Like he sleeps shit. This is shit. This is shit.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the right client, I guess. He wasn't the right
It might have
person.
been, I don't know, I never spoke to him.
So we'll
but,
get him
like,
on here. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
I don't
Maybe
know,
was
because
going
you
about
spoke
it.
to him, not me. But
Well, he's doing really well now.
yeah, that's
he's
good.
doing really, really well
That's
now.
good.
But he was just had different problems. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So I think, you know, it's just funny. The moral of what I was trying to say was you have to want it yourself, and you have to be in the right mindset to
Yeah.
adopt all these things. Because it's a bit daunting at the start. Like,
Yeah, I want to ask you on that.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
So obviously we were friends. You already trusted me. You knew I was new in business, right? Did you have any hesitations or like things you were like, oh, like is this program really gonna work? Like whatever?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Let's talk about it.
Well, I mean, like, fucking Ehab coming up to you, you're talking to him, he's like, oh, I got this new program. And I'm like, all right. Like, I mean, I wanted to try it because I wanted to see what it was about and I needed help. And I was
Yeah.
like, what have I got to lose? But when it came to like, will it actually work? Of course, I've had hesitations, and maybe because you are my mate, it helped, but also didn't help.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
after the first call, did I have hesitations? Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no, it G'd me up heaps.
Yeah.
We spoke, I don't know, were you in Thailand at the time?
I was in Thailand. Yeah.
You were in Thailand,
Yeah.
so we did a call.
Yeah.
And yeah, it G'd me up a lot. And then even if it, my excitement kind of dropped and I kind of was dilly-daddling, you were right on it.
Yeah. I was
What's this?
holding
What's
you
this? Have you done
accountable.
this? Have you done this? Have you done this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you probably had to be
remember.
like, yeah, this motherfucker not doing anything that I'm telling him to do. Some of it I did, but then it's like, oh, dude, it's been 3 weeks and you haven't done this yet. What's the go? And then,
Yeah.
not aggressively, but, then I'd implement it
Yeah.
because you were hot on it. But yeah, to answer your question, yes. But then after the first session and after the first week and the first month,
Yeah.
not at all. No, it was like,
Good to hear.
yeah, really, like it was just, I was weirdly surprised. Maybe you're stuck in my old ways where I'm thinking, all right, you want to get professional advice from someone, they have to have a degree, they have to do this, they have to do that, have to do this crap. Got to go to a doctor. What does he have know about it?
Yeah.
No doctor's going to tell you the shit that you told. That
Yeah.
you've
They'll
been
give you
told.
medication.
Yeah.
And refer you to a psychiatrist or something.
100%.
Yeah.
Doctors know. I mean, you can't blame them for not knowing everything, but half of them don't give a shit. I don't know. That's a Melbourne thing.
They're part of the health matrix, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's almost
sure.
like you're doing if that's your mindset, where like, okay, I need a doctor.
Yeah.
You might, but maybe that was what I was. But now I know that you're 24/7. Your head's in the game for years. You've been researching this shit. You know things. You've had people, me being one of them. You've had in your own life and with your clients. You've had results, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So anyway, you gave me with faith pretty quickly.
Yeah. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Nice.
But again, I'm the type of person that when you give me these challenges, you got to do this, you got to start doing this, you got to start doing this. It kind of hypes me up.
Yeah.
Maybe you've had
It's a new
clients
focus,
that are
right?
daunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might daunt a lot of people,
Yeah.
but everything in life, health, whatever, is just a long game.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't be thrown off by this massive task. Oh, okay, I got to lose 10 kilos. Well, it's so scary, but you lose 1 kilo in 2 weeks. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
You've done really well.
Yeah.
Like that should be.
It's the wins you get along the journey.
It's the
that
journey.
You enjoy.
Everyone
Yeah.
says that it's the journey,
It
but it
is the
really
journey,
is.
yeah.
And our journey won't end until we die.
Yeah.
Which is I quite like that.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. You're
so I'm
always
still
going
on
to
my
be
journey.
focused on something. There's going to be something you're doing, ideally, something you're focusing on. So,
Yeah.
what was just so people can because everyone has this question for me. Like, how long does it actually take? Because let's say you're 2024 Connor, before you started working with me, you're kind of like burning out, you're getting bad sleep, you're eating foods that don't make you feel well, right? And you feel like you're so busy, there's so many things on your plate, right? Did you feel like joining my program, working with me was like another thing? Or what did you feel like it was like in terms of like the relationship with time?
That's a great
Did you have
question.
thoughts of like, oh fuck, I don't have time for this and that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like fleeting thoughts. Like it was never like, it's never like a persistent thing where I'm like, I don't have time for this, but it's working. No.
Yeah.
Like if it works, then you have time for it in a way, if it's that important to you. But to answer, I guess part of the question is how long does it take? I think it's both instant and both infinitely longer than you think, which is a weird answer.
Right.
I'll give you an example. Like, okay, you start eating well for a week, you're going to instantly see mad results. I do anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe other people are different. I look better. I feel so much better. My emotions are better, whatever. Okay. And then you might stagnate a little bit. And then it depends if you stick to it, then it's going to get better. But you might kind of regress and then you kind of feel bad. And then you're like, well, I've kind of it's 3 weeks later and nothing's happened. Yeah, because you haven't stuck to it,
Yeah.
Or like, I'll give you another example, right? Losing 10 kilos. I find that like say 85 kilos to 75 kilos, I find that I look so much better in the first month, but it takes me so much longer to get to that final end. So, and I'm running around a bit, but my daily happiness and I get up and I'm happy and I feel better is night and day noticeable from the day one.
Yeah.
That's me. I don't know if that's for everyone, but that's kind of my thing. And then maybe after a month, it's kind of the war kind of starts. How long do I keep it up, or do I kind of slip back into old habits?
Maybe it was like that motivation in the beginning, right? That phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that that's me. But with sleep and stuff, because you might do all the right things with sleep, but then you're thinking, you might have to get up early for work the next day. You might not sleep well because you're stressing. Okay, I've got 6 hours, 5 hours, I can't fall asleep, and then you're stressing, you can't fall asleep. So you might look at that and be like, it's not working, but that's not how life works. It's you got to keep doing it for months and months. I'd say a lot of things are instant.
happen,
a lot of things take longer than you think.
Yeah. No,
But it doesn't matter. That's like for anyone asking that question is asking the wrong question.
Yeah, I think I asked you the wrong question in a way, but I'm glad you said that though. Like, I guess you were answering how long it took to get results, which you answered. I want to ask, like, let's say, because entrepreneurs have such a busy schedule, they're doing all this shit, right? So, with the inputs and the system I gave you to optimize your health, did it take extra, like, how did it feel doing that in your day? Was it like a lot of time? Was it
amongst
a little bit of time?
all the other crap?
Yeah.
I'd say a notable amount of extra time.
Yeah.
I'd say a notable amount of extra time. Now it's better because now it's just my life and I feel better that way.
Yeah.
If you're not used to shopping for the right things, that's going to be a pain. If you're not used to cooking, that's going to be a pain.
Which I don't need my clients to do, by the way. You don't need to cook. You don't need to shop.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Get it automated,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, okay, getting it automated might be hard. Anything you're not used to is like a notable change at the start.
Yeah, but I guess it's like a fear of change, maybe.
Yeah. Well, okay, I think about it this way. If you go to a new job, you're kind of tail between your legs, you're meeting people, you're a bit more quiet, you kind of, is this person, am I saying the right thing, am I doing the right thing? You're a bit more self-conscious. You might be like, oh, sorry, mate, can you help me with this thing? Yeah, no worries, bro. And then 2 months later, it's like you've been living there for 2 years.
Yeah.
You're like, it's a part of life now. It's like moving to Thailand.
Yeah.
Thailand's your home now, but at the start, you're probably like, whoa, like what is all this crap?
Yeah.
It's the same with any notable change. If you want to implement all these things, you might feel like, you might feel like you're not, what's the word? You're not in your element, and then you stick to it long enough, it becomes natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say it feels like new and weird?
Yeah. Like, I know there's a phrase for it, but I'm blanking.
Yeah.
But
what were you doing before that was sort of taking up all your time, you'd say? And then what did you replace health with? Like, following the right steps that I gave you with?
Okay. Gaming, massive one. For the record, I like gaming. I think gaming can be cool, and it's like
there's a balance to it. I think. Yeah, you can still game.
It's not a big deal to game at 8 o'clock with your homies after your work day. Like, but I was turning to video games, and also just like thinking about video games. Oh, you know, did you see the new E3 Call of Duty 7 trailer or whatever?
Yeah.
And like that would take my energy out. Again, it's okay in moderation, but that's where my energy was. Whereas like if someone was like, "Oh, yo, the new COD, do you see the trailer?" I'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." But like, it's not. My mindset's kind of changed now. Another one was at night. It would hit maybe 9 p.m. and I just crave some Uber Eats shit.
Yeah.
That was a weird one from me. Like this is me specific one, but I used to love Uber Eats, love eating shit. You know, didn't give a shit about my sleep. I was working a shift work, which I've stopped now.
Yeah.
But that kills you more than you think. You think, oh, yeah, I got this cool job. Like, you know, going to bed at random ass times, 5 a.m. is fine.
Yeah.
It's not really. I mean, yeah, it's not like we can just like everyone can quit shift work, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
But, you know, training without diet is another stupid one. You're literally wasting your time to a degree. Like, I've been training for 5+ years, like in the gym. And I looked all right, but I still was kind of looking out of shape and looking a bit shit. And then I get 6 months of just eating well, and everything came to, you know, you just, yeah. So things like that where just really sloppy, slow behavior.
Yeah.
Now I'm a bit more methodical and intentional with everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I don't know if that answers the question. But
yeah, sort of.
yeah,
Sort of.
yeah.
What would you say? How productive would you say? Like when you sat down to work at that time, when your health wasn't really that good, how efficient was your work when you sat down to work versus like nowadays?
Yeah, efficiency is a tough one. I still struggle with it. But I'm aware, and this is like, I don't know if this is even a part of your program, but this is something you did teach me offhand.
What is it?
Well, I remember you talking about your own work and how you realized years ago that like the quality of what you were doing during that time period wasn't as good. Like it wasn't as like you
Yeah.
realize you were kind of fucking around doing shit that felt like work, but it wasn't like the main
Yeah,
kind
like
of
an hour of work is different to an hour of work.
Yeah.
Depending how every second, if your brain is really dialed in and you're full of fuel and you're recovered properly.
Yeah, I think now I just like, actually, weirdly enough, when we were going crazy before all the other crap that happened, we were doing 5 hours on the business a night after coming home from work, having bloody mental breakdowns, eating like shit. Like we'd get Uber Eats because we just needed food. You know, now my business partner cooks for me because she's a G. But yeah, I think now we do actually do shorter sessions, and I live here now. I live
With what training you're saying?
with business.
Okay, yeah.
You know, we used to just grind. Now I live in this house with my business partner, and we're doing less work, but we're getting more done. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works, but I think we're just like our stress levels are lower.
It's a skill thing as well. Like even separate from health. Obviously, health helps you have more energy. You're more recovered. Your brain works better. Your nervous system is more reset. But yeah, there's also like the skill of an entrepreneur and like tactically, like what are you going to work on each day, and you just get better at it. I think. So.
Yeah, I think you don't know what the fuck you're doing at the start.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's why not many people do it.
Yeah.
Because you get imposter syndrome, and you're like, what am I even doing here? Like, I don't know what. Like, I've got a skincare business. My business partner's a genius with this shit, but I got no idea about skincare. I had to learn it all, and now I know a lot about skincare, and I know a lot about all this stuff about business. I didn't know anything about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed. It's a weird way that it's changed. Maybe it's hard to talk about the business because again, I have a business partner who carries 50% at least of it. But you know, my own personal journey, yeah, maybe I just feel better going into the sessions.
Yeah. What do you think makes you feel better? Like you just, yeah. What do you think?
Well, I think when you trust that you're on the right path and you're doing the right things, you just go about your day better. I'm a very anxious person, and I think knowing that I've trained that day, you know, we went to the gym before this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're sitting around having a chat. Actual jacked, crazy. Like we're just sitting around having a chat, and I'm like, you know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling relaxed, and I don't feel like I need to be running off and, you know, shake your hand after this, be like, thanks, you know, thanks for the chat, and then start typing away.
Yeah.
You know, I can just relax, and I think
kind of detached a little bit. You say,
you know, you know, we've ate well, we've trained, you know, we're outside, we're getting some good sun, and I'm feeling great. And I think the way you feel pays your future, the way that, you know, you go forward. And you know, when I came to you, and obviously I can't say that you've made me an infinitely more relaxed person 100% ehab made me.
Yeah.
It's a life thing, right?
Yeah.
But eating well, sleeping well, doing all that crap that we've talked about. How could you not feel more content?
Yeah.
You know, McDonald's isn't going to make you feel content.
Yeah.
A nice steak is going to make you feel content.
Let's talk about, because yeah, as you just mentioned, like how did you feel back then? Like day to day. I know it's 2 years ago. It's hard to remember. It's like the older version of you, but
Well,
like how was your stress? How did you feel after food? How did just your energy, your like anxiety? Like how did you feel?
so much
Describe
better.
it.
Well, like I'll give you, we talked earlier when we were at the gym about I had a massive binge week last week of
Yeah.
eating shit. I just ate whatever the hell I wanted. You know, my roommate, business partner's been on
Yeah.
holiday, just being an idiot, right? And I felt so horrible.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. I
Like
didn't like
mentally or physically or
everything.
everything.
Everything felt bad, and that's how I was every day.
Yeah.
That's how I was every day.
Wow. How long were you like that for, you'd say?
I think forever.
Really?
Like I remember being like in year 7, walking home from school, getting a Slurpee, and at the time $3 minimum chips that was like this big.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was every day eating crap, every day doing. And again, nothing bad. I'll still get that today. I don't care. But it was just constant. It was every day. It was just that anxiousness and the feeling, my gut kind of feeling like crap as
Yeah.
well. It's like, it's weird when you make this transition, it's weirdly subtle, but if you abruptly go back, you can see how black and white it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like,
When you look back, you see it more than yeah,
100%.
because you're used to it. It becomes your normal, and then once you improve your health, and you're like, wow, I can't go back to that. Like there's levels to how you can feel with your energy, with your focus, with your stress, how you feel inside. You know?
And it teaches you that you just need to.
Like
This
it's
thing's
so
going
windy,
crazy.
guys.
Do
Sorry
we
if
do
you
we
can-
put that back in?
Oh, we're gonna be in the sun. It's too hot for that.
Oh, probably.
I reckon just leave it.
Probably. Yeah, it just teaches you that if you chip away at something and you put the energy in and you if you do the work, things happen, if that makes sense. You know.
Yeah.
It's funny, I think the first time you lose weight and start looking good, if you just apply that same mentality to any aspect of your life, whether it be learning an instrument or whatever, it's just, that teaches you that you can do it. And that's a good one because when your face slims down, you're looking a bit bigger, people start treating you a bit nicer, you kind of walk with a bit more confidence, you look better in clothes, you talk to people differently.
Yeah.
You don't become an asshole. Again, I'm not saying I'm jacked or anything, but I'm not fat anymore, which is...
You've had a big transformation.
Yeah,
for sure.
so it's like I just feel better, and it's comforting to know that you can do that in any aspect of life.
Yeah. I think a lot of people who don't get healthy, what stops them is just the fear of change, just the fact that it's something different and it's unknown. A lot of people that might be watching this are in their, say, mid-20s to like even like late 50s, right? And they've probably sacrificed their body and their health to build up their business or their career, right? And they're just used to the way they've been doing things, right? Certain inputs have been leading to certain outputs, right? And so the thought of change, it's more so just a feeling, isn't it? It's just a feeling of change, that things are going to be different. There's just a fear to it. What would you say to those people who are in that position and they are suffering? Like their business would be better off, they would feel better off, they would look better. What would you say to those people who are just kind of feel like they have that fear of change?
Yeah, I think what I would say to them is very individual based off what type of person they are. If they're one of my mates, like if it was you, say you were in a shit spot, I would grab you and slap you metaphorically and be like, "You're brainwashed, break free. Like, what are you doing right now?"
Yeah. I don't think that would work, but
well, fuck
but
it,
I know what you mean. I do
like,
the same.
If it was one of my homies, if you could, like, I just,
I would do the
it
same.
doesn't work. That doesn't work at all.
It doesn't work, but
It doesn't
still
work.
do it.
But one of the boys, what I'm trying to say is like, I would want to get that across that the way that they're feeling is, I don't know if there's any better word than a brainwashing, and not so much like a alien laser that like changes your mind, but more like just years and years of the same thing and the same ideas that are just so hard to break. Like I said before, if you're
Speak
smoking,
on the ideas that
Yeah.
you think they are specifically, because they might be having that.
well, like if you're brainwashed,
Yeah, like what are the ideas they believe that are part of that brainwashing that is wrong and they need to change? What are the beliefs and the ideas they have about that keep them stuck, that you obviously were able to break free from?
Well,
helped you transform? What do you think they're still
well,
thinking that's holding
in a
them
more
back?
subtle sense, it's like that whatever their routine is normal and okay. And in an essence, it is. It's okay to just be mid, but is it okay to you to be mid? You know, like
Yeah.
you see someone walking past you that's a bit chubby, they kind of got a bit of a limp, and they're in their 40s, and you can tell they're like a Woolies kind of person. Is that okay? Yes,
Mm.
it's okay. There's no problem with that. But does that person go to bed every night, and do they have this cloud that plagues their mind every night that they could be more and they need to be more? Then it's not okay.
Yeah.
You know, and
True.
anyone asking you for help has that. They know it's not okay. So for me, it's definitely not okay.
Yeah.
For me to be fat for the rest of my life is not okay.
Yeah.
For me to, you know, work 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, it's not okay. It might happen, but at least I tried.
Yeah.
I just don't want to look back and have regrets on things, you know. So what I would say is, if it's not okay to you, then you need to make a change. And it's not always obvious what the problem is. You know, I was just about to say before, you know, if you're smoking, that's a definite not okay. If you're eating McDonald's every second day or getting Uber Eats when you could be cooking, that is not okay. That's a blank
It's
not
a common
okay.
thing, yeah. People
It's
order
so
food
common.
and yeah,
It's incredibly
busy
common.
order food.
If you're scrolling for more than an hour a day, if you're scrolling at all, but
Even 10 minutes a day is
I'll throw
already
you a bone.
destroying your.
Yeah, I'll throw you a bone because it's like 7 hours for everyone. But if you're scrolling for more than an hour a day, that is not okay. You are brainwashed,
Yeah.
brainwashed. That's what I think. And you're brainwashed in so many more ways than you think. And a lot of people know that it's a problem,
Yeah.
but until they feel it's a problem, it's like it'll just never go away.
Yeah.
I knew every time I ate McDonald's that it wasn't a good thing, but until I felt in my soul that it was against, you know, against me as a human being, against everything I stand for, then I needed to change it.
What got you to that point where you felt it and you're like the logic went away and you actually felt it and you're like, fuck, this needs to change?
I think like years and years of internally hating myself for it, and internally knowing. Like like just knowing that I'm doing the bad thing for years, and every time, I don't know if everyone's the same when they skip gym, if it actually hurts them. Like
It must.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
it.
yeah. People cope and they say, oh, whatever, but
I think people are
your
yeah,
subconscious brain and your gut feeling knows that you lacked right there.
definitely.
And that's something
Yeah.
that chews away at your confidence when it comes to business. Like when you sit down to work or, you know, hop on a sales call, whatever, or you just speak to your business partner, stuff, like the energy you have is going to be different. Because
Definitely.
from those little things like waking up late, not eating healthy, ordering something not healthy, we could order something healthy. Like you slept late, you woke up late. All that just, like you hear Conor McGregor say, like it eats away at your mental strength.
Definitely.
It's the same thing for business owners. You have to take care of your, like, your personal life, your health.
I think it's funny that you say for business owners. I think especially for business owners, because it's such an audacious and grand task where everything that you optimize and everything that you fix and everything that you get better, everything you work on
Yeah.
can make that much difference to not fail. And what they say, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try it, but if you're not going to put all your effort in, you're going to be one of those nines.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I say that because business is what we have a link there. Martial arts, we have a link there. Do you think you're going to be a pro fighter if you're not putting in that effort?
No.
You know,
There's there's outliers, of course.
Yeah.
But they're outliers.
They're
You know what I
outliers.
mean? Yeah, you can't speak about it.
and that outlier, could be an even better fighter if they put in the effort.
They only would be, yeah. 100%.
You know,
What did you, at the time when you were getting, like, when you weren't feeling that well from what you were eating, how you were sleeping, etc., what did you think it was coming from? Like, did you question, like, why do I feel this way? Why am I getting maybe these digestive issues? Why am I, did you get, like, brain fog and that kind of thing? Like, did you ever question it? And then, like, what did you tell yourself it was?
that's a great question. I think obviously aspects of the sleep I would have put down to being a shift worker, and also the
Yeah.
nature of the job that I had, was very stressful. So it's like that was a massive part of it. But I also put it down to knowing that there had to be like like I knew the cause of it, but I also knew that there had to be a fix somewhere. Like there had to be something I could do better to get it fixed.
Right.
Didn't know if it was medication, like a bad, or I didn't know this, I didn't know what it was. And that's why,
Right.
speaking to you, for example, gave me a bit of hope where it's like, even if it doesn't work, it's an avenue. And if that
Yeah.
doesn't work, I can try something else. It did.
Yeah.
But, the causes, and also you can probably see the way I'm talking. I'm very like, go, go, go. And I can get anxious sometimes as well. So I thought maybe my stress was causing it
Yeah.
because I'm so
It
busy.
was an issue at the time, I remember.
Yeah, I thought I'm like so busy and I've got so many things, and
Yeah.
it's like how much energy do I put into martial arts? Like I'm fighting,
Yeah.
I don't want to get my head kicked in.
You needed like optimal performance for all the things you were trying to do. You needed like to be optimized.
Yeah,
But yeah.
and then I
Continue.
had this like, yeah, you're right, and I had this like shroud of like stress about not achieving certain goals, like with my music. Love making music, and that's been a lot of that. So I think every day that I go to bed where I didn't pick up a guitar or I didn't make a beat was like stressing me out.
Yeah.
And it was just
It's
a
like
lot
a
of stress.
keystone habit where if you don't do it, your stress is high, you're just less fulfilled, you're not as happy. So yeah.
But I don't know if it's just a me thing that, I have so many hobbies and interests that, but I think for a lot of people, they might just have one thing and they're just really struggling to do it. And that's valid. That's so valid. But I didn't know what everything was. Well, I knew that me having bloody man titties was because I eat like shit. Like I knew that. Why do I eat like shit? I don't know. That at the time I didn't know. Now I know. Now I know I was brainwashed.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like, like it hit 9:30 and I was like, I could. Some people it's ice cream. For me, it was like salt and sauce. I love chips. I love Maccas.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, I need Maccas right now, and I'd be like, fuck it. I went to the gym today. Fuck it, I'll get Maccas. Why I made that choice every time, don't know.
Did you discover why afterwards? Because
think
this is
I was-
something
yeah.
nowadays I really help my clients identify so they can take it with them long term. Why they get cravings, why things happen. We can always tie it back to something. For example, maybe at the time you were under eating, or you're eating nutrient dead foods, and you were also highly stressed at night time. Something else was emotionally stressing, so it led to that sort of trained behavior.
Yeah.
So that's something I like to teach my clients as well. But did you figure out what it was? What was leading to that?
I think it's multifaceted. I think
Yeah,
it's a
for sure.
multifaceted thing. Like obviously, all of that is probably to a degree, maybe 3-4% each one. Wasn't eating too well, so I wanted Maccas or whatever. But I think the genuine thing was just that dopamine chase.
Right.
That dopamine chase. That like, don't know why I craved it, but I feel like now that I don't need that validation, I don't need that comfort, I don't crave it anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it's that way. I don't think it's because I don't crave it anymore, I don't need that comfort.
Yeah.
But I really think it's just a switch where I'm like, even if I was like, fuck, I could smash a triple cheeseburger right now, that wouldn't fulfill me anymore.
Yeah.
Because I changed my mind.
It's kind of empty, right?
Yeah. It actually, and I think I was just chasing the dopamine.
Yeah.
Why do you pick up your phone and scroll through reels? I don't know.
That's something a lot of people should get good at.
Yeah.
Why, like, catch yourself when you grab even just checking your phone. It's like, what are you trying to escape right now? Like a subtle emotion. That's something I've been getting really good at. Like, if I feel something or like I feel stressed, or I feel like using my phone, I'll just stop and like stare at the wall.
What is this? Yeah.
Or just like, why do I feel this way? And I usually find out, oh, it's because of this. And then I'll kind of reframe my mind, or I'll detach from that, or maybe it's something I need to remember. I'll write it down, forget. And that affects health, because that's like emotions that lead to actions that destroy your health, and it's just like a vicious cycle,
Yeah, you can't. Certain things like.
Guys, what has just happened is I recorded for another 18 minutes and my alarm went off, so it cut off those 18 minutes.
Did we turn the other alarms off?
Yeah. So
Okay, good.
We'll just wrap this up quickly. We
Yeah.
spoke about a few things that was beneficial, but yeah, what should we? We'll speak about a few things and just kind of wrap up from there. So I think I'll ask one question and then I'll get you to speak about Adonis and what you built. But just to kind of wrap up, what would you say? And you just said it. Hopefully, it's still fresh in your
it's all
memory.
right.
But what would you say to an entrepreneur who is struggling with their health? Maybe they've sacrificed their business. They're getting these energy crashes. They're getting brain fog. They're putting on stubborn belly fat. They're just not feeling that good. They're sacrificing their sleep. They're highly stressed. What would you say to these people? Let's say they're already making good money as well.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, yeah. What I like my answer is if you, I would imagine that if you're an entrepreneur, you're looking to get ahead anyway. You know, you're looking to make a better life for yourself and your family and be the best you can be. And you know, obviously you have a vision for whatever you're doing and you believe in that. So I would say, you know, you should ask yourself why you haven't channeled that into your health. You know, I'd argue that health is the most important thing. Again, not just for yourself, but for your family. Um, yeah, it's hard. The information's not all out there and it's all over the shop. But I would say, yeah, figure out why you haven't gotten there yet. And I can imagine it might be due to not knowing how to go about it, or you know,
Or just
feeling
systemizing. A
overwhelmed.
lot of people, they just don't know how to kind of systemize it. But sorry
Oh
to cut
no,
you off.
you're right,
Yeah,
100%.
they know what to do, but they just can't do it.
And it, that is for everything. And I think you know, what have you got to lose? You know, you got to you know, if you don't know what to do, then you need to figure out what to do. And like I said, you know, I came across you at a lucky time in my life. You know, I was lucky that you know, we just collaborated early. You know, it just kind of happened. Whereas I didn't have to find you, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
you laid it all out on the table, and there's a lot that you don't know. Obviously, if you're not in shape, you don't know, you know. So yeah, I would say ask yourself why you haven't, and make it an effort. You have to. You have to make an effort to it should be a priority for you. I know it's hard, you're busy, but you know, if you can start another business if it fails, but you only got one body, you know, so you gotta treat it properly.
Beautiful answer. And I'll say that you can do it without adding to your schedule, just changing a few things. So no matter how busy you are, you can get your health under control. So
100%.
yeah, there
It
is
should,
another.
it should be a baseline in your life.
It should be a new standard, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and also I don't want
Go
to
ahead,
sound,
go
sound
ahead.
elitist where it's like, oh, you should be doing this anyway. You should be jacked, or you should be going to the gym. You should be eating well. I get why people aren't, because I haven't been for my whole life, and I'm still getting there. Like I'm still, you know, like I said before, I'm not anywhere near where I want to be, but um, it's okay to it's okay to be in a bad spot, but it's not okay to stay there. You know, you gotta do the best you can. So yeah,
100%.
I'm I'm I would absolutely recommend going to someone that can take all the pressure off it. You got all the information in the right place, and you know, if you fuck it from there, then you got other problems. You know,
Yeah,
if you got all the information and it's all there for you, and you still can't get in shape, then you really got to dig deep into why that's not happening.
yeah. Few reasons. Busy people, you
Yeah.
know, systemize it. It's what I help with. But yeah, there was another 15 minutes of things. Like, is there anything, any key things we should bring up again that we spoke about in the past 15 minutes?
No, I
Like,
think we covered
what
off
else
most
did
of
we
it.
speak about? Like,
I think it was just my shameless plug about my own business.
no, I want you to speak about that. But
Yeah,
before that, was there something else? Any golden nuggets? We spoke about a few good things, man. But
probably. I can.
do you remember? No.
No, I'll. We can do this again sometime,
Yeah,
and I can
possibly.
when I'm more jacked and more rich, and we can elaborate.
Yeah. Let's do a quick. Just summarize quickly where you were before working with me and where you are, not even now, 2 years later, but just a few months after the program. Like,
Yeah.
what were the tangible or even subjective things, like your energy out of 10, your weight, like all this kind of stuff? Just a quick summary as to
Yeah,
what happened.
everything fluctuates. Everything fluctuates, but where it was fluctuating at a 2 to 5, now it's fluctuating to a 6 to a 10. You know, like you'll have your bad times where you binge eat, or your times where you're stressed and you don't sleep. But you know, everything is better and everything is achievable. And I second guess everything now. You know, I'm not, you know, um, I'm not just going to bed. Now I'm thinking about my sleep. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like my uh, the way I approach all these health aspects of my life is different. You know, more sunlight, more this, more that, and um, yeah, 2 years ago I wasn't doing any of that stuff. I didn't care about sunlight. I didn't care about this. I thought going in the sun was going to cause me
A
skin
hippie
cancer.
weird thing.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just a bit more aware now,
Yeah.
and that little bit more awareness, yeah, the little bit more awareness leads to a lot of results over time. That's just what it
Beautiful.
is. Yeah,
Beautiful. Well, yeah, I'll yeah, speak about what you do, speak about Adonis and everything
it.
that's happening there.
yeah. So yeah, we're launching our skincare products, Adonis Australia is our brand name. On Instagram, Adonis Australia. Yeah, we're a skincare brand for men. Adonis being the Greek god of beauty. He was the most handsome man in the Greek mythology. So that's where that name is. Yeah, we have 3 products, moisturizer, cleanser, and sunscreen, coming out in October this year. Best skincare products you'll ever see.
I'd like to have a pair of each.
Yeah, I'll sort you out, don't worry.
One of each, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you the set.
Sweet.
But it's, yeah, none of the nasties in it and all the good stuff. So that's about it.
I condone.
Good.
Perfect. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Check out the other videos on the channel and follow me on Instagram. Thank you.
Peace.
Connor.
Thanks, bro.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.